Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. Recently I got to take a trip up to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I pretty much just got off the plane, cleared customs, and then my buddy Scott the Canadian picked me up. And he took me out to a town called Ajax in Ontario. And we went to go see Kamal Lawley's store, We Got Gamez. Now, I've been to this store before. I was actually up there back in January of 2016. Hell of an awesome store. But Scott was like, do you want to go back there? I was like, absolutely. Why wouldn't I want to do that? So this was absolutely the first thing we did, other than he stopped at Tim Hortons and he got himself some coffee. Worst coffee ever. Sorry, Canadians, but it's true. Anyway, so I thought I would do a quick store tour here. One of the complaints I got last time when I did one of these store tours, for this store specifically, was that I was a little too quick with it. I tend to do that because it depends on the store, but sometimes you feel a tad uncomfortable doing it. In Kamal's store, I wasn't at all uncomfortable. I was just, being efficient. But this time I decided to go much slower so you guys can get a really good sense of everything that's in there. So like, for example, right here, we have a sea of original Xbox and Xbox 360 games. It's actually more than it looks like because for every one you see in front, there's an entire column of games behind it. Take a look at the right there. See how there's a few? It's like that all the way through the back. It's insane. Lots of stuff. Look at a sea of N64s. We Got Gamez is one of the best stocked stores I've ever seen. The amount of inventory in that place is nuts. There he is, Sir Scott of Canada, Scott the Canadian. But yeah, so just take a look at this. That's all boxed. That's like CIB, N64, SNES, and NES goodness. I mean, really, you could look at like any spot in this store and just be like, holy shit, because it really is quite impressive. I mean, look at all this GameCube stuff. He's got like 3 copies of Gotcha Force in there, which I think is the rarest Cube game, although correct me if I'm wrong. But obviously lots of Amiibos and lots of Wii U stuff and Wii stuff and DS and 3DS. Kamal's passion is Nintendo stuff, so that's largely what you'll find in there. You will find your PlayStation stuff, your Xbox stuff, your Sega stuff, but not with the same level of, frankly, love that you see for all this Nintendo stuff everywhere. So right here, like every one of those you see there, you see a copy of a game, it goes like 5 games deep. Like he's got like 5 copies of every one of these damn things. It's quite impressive. He's got a set there in the front with the custom N64 end labels, so that, if you're into that, you can easily find whatever game you want. Those end labels are really sweet, by the way. Those are becoming more popular. You can find those online and get a set, and they really, really make N64 cartridges look a lot better. But yeah, look at all these Super Nintendo games, just tons of them. Like you could spend all day in this store just looking at this stuff. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Now remember, of course, that this store is Canadian, so you have to factor in the Canadian exchange rate, which I'll talk about in a second. This came into the store while I was in there. This is a Dreamcast, obviously. It's Model 0. This is actually the rental unit. A guy sold it to Kamal with a bunch of burned games, and he bought it for the price of a regular Dreamcast. And then I was like, can I look at that? And he was like, sure. So I started looking at it, and then I looked at the bottom, and I realized, especially with that top sticker there, that's actually the rental unit. It's quite a rare one. He whipped this thing out that was on display at the Waterloo Game Swap, like right after I finished filming the video, so I just wanted to cut in there real quick and show you it. Nice little display case with complete and box stuff. So yeah, more boxed Genesis over there, and he's got all sorts of paraphernalia like hats and plushies and stuff. Last time we were up there, he actually gave my girlfriend a plushie of Toad from Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. So yeah, tons of NES, of course. Look at that. It's insane. Like the amount of it. But yeah, I was really happy to help him out with that Dreamcast because those things, the rental ones, like hell, I don't even have one of those. Those things are not common. But yeah, he's got a lot of the greats, a lot of the rare ones in there. He's got like a few copies of Little Samson, and I don't know if he has a stadium events. For some reason I didn't think to ask, but I know a lot of the harder ones to find are all there. It's really quite insane. If you're a Nintendo enthusiast and you're in Southern Ontario, or you're an American such as myself, but you can with relative ease get to Southern Ontario, this is definitely one of the stores to keep an eye out at, just because the collection is insane. But I was mentioning the exchange rate before. Now that's an important thing to factor in. Again, mostly for American viewers. At the time I make this video, the current exchange rate between the U.S. and Canadian dollar is basically, if one U.S. dollar is worth about 75 Canadian cents, so sometimes 70. It fluctuates, obviously. So sometimes you're basically getting a 25 to 30% discount on whatever the price is listed at when you exchange it, obviously. So that's something to keep in mind. He does a lot of, you might have saw that little thing, that little Pokemon thing there. He does a lot of charity stuff. There's PlayStation 1 games. There's a Dreamcast kiosk. I have one of those. His is more legit. Mine was modded. His has the actual kiosk unit in it, though, which is impressive. Shenmue 2, little obscure indie title. Probably never heard of it. Yeah, so that's more Xbox stuff, obviously, but that's more the high-end demand Xbox stuff. PlayStation 2, again, same deal. A lot of the stuff that your average Joe walking in off the street would want to see, or the super collector who wants to see things like Rule of Rose, it's going to be there for you, which is really, really quite insane. But yeah, tons of PlayStation 2. He was one of the owners who's telling me that PlayStation 2 is finally starting to catch on as far as like a retro scene. A lot more people are starting to pick it up now, but only very select titles. The majority of it is still doesn't have anybody going after it. So if you're into the PlayStation 2, strike soon. Nice set of consoles there, including the Crystal Xbox, which he keeps one of those on display for actual testing and stuff. The Crystal Xbox is nice. We never got that in the US. That came out in Canada and Europe, but never here. Boxed Super Nintendo, and just tons of it. I think most of them have those like protective cases over them too, which is really nice. I think that was one of his policies, is that if you're going to buy one of those nice ones, it has to come with one of those plastic cases. But I think that's usually how it works out. A lot of, look, he's got Sculptor's Cut. It looks like he has a couple copies of Sculptor's Cut. Bad Fur Day, Beast Wars, some of the rarest N64 games. Lots of DS and 3DS there. Just absolutely tons of amazing stuff. Game Boy Advance. I know we kind of went over some of this stuff already, but I wanted to give you guys more of a close-up. Because, again, a lot of you were like, oh, you went too fast. Take your time. Show us more stuff. So here you go. Lots of cool Wii U stuff. I love the Wii U. Don't like the Wii so much, as I'm sure a lot of you know, but I love the Wii U. A lot of the of course, again, stuff that's in the case in the front like this is going to be the more high demand stuff. Anything that doesn't have as much demand will be likely put into one of those other back shelves. Huge wall of GameCube. Again, multiple copies of Gotcha Force. That's something special. I wish I had bought that back in the day, man. I had no idea that was going to be worth anything. But yeah, so there you go. He's got more controllers and games. It's just so much stuff. It's really very impressive. And look up there on top. You got all that stuff, all the Nintendo stuff, all the plushies. But that's Kamal on the right, it's Brian in the back, and Scott the Canadian in the front. So that was an updated look at We Got Gamez. Obviously an awesome store. Despite how Nintendo-centric it seems to be, I actually walked away with non-Nintendo items, as you can tell. I was all too happy to check out that Xbox section in the back. Funny thing, shortly after I shot that, he made a post. He scored. He got a boxed copy of Stadium Events, which you can actually go and check out. He posted pictures of it on his Facebook page. There'll be a link to that in the description. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But first, let's talk about these pickups I got. I got, like I said, just a couple of original Xbox games that I needed. First one was Chess Master. Nothing super special, just another one I needed to get. Chicken Little, based on, I believe it was like a 2006 movie, or maybe it was like 2004, I don't remember what year it was. This one is, I'm not going to say it's rare, because again, there's almost no such thing as a rare original Xbox game, but it is one that I never see. So to actually get it was nice. Kind of the same deal with this one. ESPN X Winter Games Snowboarding 2002. Again, not worth anything, but I never see it, so it was nice to get. NBA Ballers Phenom.
Rainbow Six 3, which I actually already had. I had the Platinum Hits version of this, but it, sticks out like an eyesore because it's just this random silver case amongst a sea of the pure green ones. And so I wanted to replace it. So that was all there was to that. And then finally, Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Nothing spectacular in this particular lot, but it's all just stuff I needed to get off of my checklist there, so it was nice to get those. And the best part about them was they were free. Kamal hooked me up with them all for absolutely nothing. Basically worked out a little deal with them, and it is as follows. It benefits you guys. So I mentioned his Facebook page. Here's the thing. He's going to be giving away a reproduction Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis game. Now, if you're interested in winning it, this is all you have to do. You go to his Facebook page, you like the page, and there will be a post about me. And in that post, all you have to do is write a comment that says hashtag Adam Koralik. I'll display it right there. You post that after liking the page, and you're entered to win. Kamal will be selecting the winner through, I presume, some sort of random option generator or something like that. You're eligible if you're Canadian or American or anywhere else in the world. You could, doesn't matter what country you're in, he's willing to ship international. So the winner that gets selected will get to pick which console they want, and then there's like a list of 10 games for each console, but you'll communicate directly through Kamal if you're the winner. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys the heads up about that. So I hope one of you wins. Well, obviously one of you is going to win, so which one of you? I don't know. Go into the description, click it, enter the contest. So thank you again to Kamal for hooking me up with this stuff. Thank you to Scott the Canadian for driving me around. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all later.